The NFL world was caught off guard when former New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski made a bold statement involving the Kansas City Chiefs. Known for his charisma and humor, Gronk rarely stirs controversy, but this time, his words carried weight. During a recent interview, he made an accusation that immediately drew national attention, suggesting the Chiefs had been gaining an unfair edge in their preparation methods. Though he avoided naming specific individuals, his tone was serious, hinting at concerns over integrity and competition. For a franchise built on excellence, such claims struck a sensitive nerve. The Chiefs, admired for their professionalism and consistency, suddenly found themselves defending their reputation. Within hours, analysts and fans dissected Gronkowski's comments, trying to interpret his intent. Was it a critique of strategy, or an accusation of misconduct? The uncertainty fueled debate across sports media. Kansas City, just days away from another high-stakes matchup, now faced an off-field storm they never expected to confront. In the full interview, Gronkowski discussed how certain teams in the league push competitive boundaries. When pressed, he referenced the Chiefs as a recent example, citing what he described as unusual preparation tactics and a level of performance that appeared beyond standard. Though he clarified that he respected Kansas City's achievements, the underlying implication was clear: he believed something about their approach warranted scrutiny. His words, broadcast across national networks, quickly gained momentum. Former players and analysts began debating whether Gronk was raising a legitimate concern or simply expressing personal frustration. Given his history as a competitor against the Chiefs during his years with Tom Brady, many questioned if lingering rivalry influenced his perspective. Regardless, the comments struck a chord. The Chiefs' success, defined by precision and dominance, was suddenly framed under suspicion. For a team known for discipline and transparency, the challenge was no longer about winning games, it was about preserving credibility in the court of public opinion. The Chiefs organization acted swiftly to address the controversy. Within hours of Gronkowski's remarks spreading online, team officials released a carefully worded statement. It reaffirmed their commitment to integrity and compliance with all NFL regulations, emphasizing that their success stemmed from hard work, strategic excellence, and disciplined culture. Head coach Andy Reid's leadership was quietly praised within the league for handling the situation with professionalism. Players were instructed to remain focused on football and avoid fueling speculation. Patrick Mahomes, known for his composure, maintained silence publicly, but expressed confidence privately that the team's record spoke for itself. While the Chiefs refused to engage directly with Gronk's comments, their calm response stood in contrast to the media's intensity. The organization's measured tone projected control amid chaos. Still, the situation lingered. Fans wanted closure, and analysts wanted answers. Kansas City's silence, while dignified, only deepened the intrigue surrounding what Gronkowski truly meant by his startling accusation. The story exploded across major sports outlets, dominating headlines and talk shows. Commentators debated whether Gronkowski's words reflected genuine concern or mere exaggeration. Social media became the battlefield of opinions, with fans defending or questioning the Chiefs' integrity. Supporters highlighted the team's track record of clean competition, while critics speculated that even great teams might test limits in pursuit of dominance. Sports networks replayed Gronk's clip repeatedly, amplifying every word and facial expression for deeper meaning. Meanwhile, Kansas City's upcoming opponents were asked for their perspectives, many declining to comment directly. NFL insiders reported that the league's compliance department was aware of the remarks, but saw no evidence of wrongdoing. Still, the speculation persisted. Every angle of the story, from player preparation to coaching methods, was dissected. What began as a casual comment from a retired player had evolved into a full-scale media narrative, challenging Kansas City's ability to maintain focus under relentless scrutiny. Behind the scenes, the Chiefs players reacted with a mix of frustration and motivation. They viewed the accusation as both an insult and an opportunity. Leaders like Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones emphasized unity and discipline, reminding teammates that criticism often follows success. Andy Reid addressed the issue directly during team meetings, reinforcing the organization's values and encouraging professionalism in response to outside noise. Players understood that maintaining composure would send a stronger message than any verbal defense. Practices continued at high intensity, with the coaching staff ensuring that distractions didn't disrupt preparation. Several veterans privately expressed disappointment that Gronkowski, a respected figure in the league, had questioned their ethics. For them, the Chiefs' dominance was the result of years of chemistry, intelligence, and hard-earned execution, not shortcuts. The incident became a rallying point within the locker room. Instead of dividing the team, it strengthened their collective resolve to prove through performance that success in Kansas City was and always had been legitimate. Although no formal complaint was filed, the NFL quietly began reviewing Gronkowski's claims. League officials conducted standard checks to ensure all team activities complied with policy. Such procedures were routine, but the media portrayed them as signs of deeper investigation. Sources within the organization confirmed that Kansas City cooperated fully, confident in their transparency. Internal reviews showed no irregularities in training or preparation, reinforcing the team's position. Andy Reid's reputation for integrity worked in the Chiefs' favor, as league officials trusted his long-standing adherence to rules. Still, the episode raised broader questions about how competitive boundaries are perceived in modern football. Teams constantly seek innovation, but at what point do innovation and suspicion intersect? For Kansas City, this distinction mattered deeply. They had built their dynasty on adaptability and creativity, qualities sometimes misunderstood by rivals. The quiet monitoring eventually confirmed what most insiders expected: the Chiefs remained compliant. But the public debate over perception versus reality continued to echo throughout the NFL. Across the league, players and coaches were asked for their take on Gronkowski's accusation. Some dismissed it as playful banter, while others admitted it highlighted the jealousy that often surrounds successful franchises. Several rivals acknowledged that the Chiefs' dominance naturally invites criticism. They noted how innovation, whether in play design, conditioning, or analytics, can easily be mistaken for unfair advantage. Former teammates of Gronkowski expressed surprise at his tone, saying he usually avoided controversy. A few current players subtly defended him, suggesting his comments might have been exaggerated by the media. Within Kansas City, the narrative was simple: focus on the game, the noise. Other organizations watched closely, understanding that reputation management has become as vital as on-field performance. The incident revealed an uncomfortable truth. In professional sports, the line between admiration and skepticism is razor thin. For the Chiefs, the goal was no longer just winning games. It was proving that sustained excellence does not require cutting corners. Beyond the headlines and interviews, the controversy carried an emotional weight for Kansas City. Players who had devoted years to perfecting their craft felt misunderstood. The insinuation that their success stemmed from anything other than effort cut deep. Patrick Mahomes, though publicly composed, was reportedly driven to silence critics through action. Travis Kelce, one of the league's most passionate competitors, viewed the remarks as a challenge to the entire team's character. The emotional undercurrent in practices and meetings became palpable. Anger transformed into motivation. Coaches reminded players that adversity often shapes legacy more than triumph itself. The Chiefs' unity deepened as external doubt grew louder. This incident forced every member of the organization to reflect on what integrity truly means in high-performance environments. In a league defined by scrutiny, Kansas City's emotional resilience became their greatest weapon. They understood that credibility, once questioned, must be earned again, not through words, but through consistent, unquestionable excellence on the field. As the season progressed, the Chiefs transformed controversy into fuel. Every practice carried new energy. Every game became a statement. Analysts began to notice that the team seemed sharper, more focused, and more determined than ever. Gronkowski's comments had inadvertently reignited Kansas City's competitive fire. Patrick Mahomes played with renewed precision, while the defense displayed unprecedented discipline. Andy Reid's leadership during this period became a case study in composure and direction. Instead of responding emotionally, he used the moment to reinforce culture and unity. The Chiefs began dominating opponents, silencing critics one performance at a time. Broadcasters who once questioned their integrity started praising their professionalism. What began as an accusation turned into affirmation of their identity. Kansas City didn't seek revenge, they sought excellence. Each win served as a reminder that integrity and success can coexist powerfully. By facing criticism with dignity, the Chiefs reminded the entire league what true championship mentality looks like in action. In the end, the controversy faded, but its impact remained. The Chiefs emerged not only as champions on the field, but as examples of leadership under pressure. Gronkowski's words, though provocative, ultimately highlighted how greatness attracts scrutiny. Kansas City's response defined their legacy more than any statistic. They stood firm without defensiveness, allowing actions to speak louder than headlines. Andy Reid's calm authority, Mahomes' consistent brilliance, and the team's collective discipline turned adversity into triumph. In a sport where narratives shift daily, the Chiefs demonstrated endurance not only in skill but in character. The accusation that once threatened to overshadow their reputation became a defining test of integrity. When history looks back, it won't remember the controversy as a scandal, but as a moment when Kansas City reaffirmed who they were. The Chiefs' journey through the storm proved that true champions do more than win, they uphold their values, even when the world questions them.